In the phylum Chordata, there's a wide range of classes that is not limited to, but includes, mammals, reptiles, aves, and amphibia. The amphibian class alone holds more than 7,500 different species. The entirety of this class shares many key characteristics and DNA that classifies these creatures together. The amphibian class alone varies from salamanders to newts to frogs and even toads. Most amphibians have legs that enable movement, but there are a few exceptions, such as the caecilian. The caecilian are legless amphibians that resemble a worm or snake. They typically live in tropical environments due to their cold-blooded nature. The most famous of amphibians is the frog. This name is given to more than 4,500 different species, ranging from less than a centimeter in size to more than 13 inches. The word amphibian means double life. This is because amphibians spend half of their lives on land and then the other half in the water. Another way amphibians live a double life is that they go through the process of metamorphosis, which is the change from a larva into a full-grown adult. A good example of this is the frog. It starts out its life as a tadpole, but undergoes metamorphosis. When it loses its tail, it grows limbs and becomes a fully developed adult. Some basic facts on the class of amphibia are that amphibians are vertebrates, which means that they have some sort of backbone, and all amphibians are cold-blooded. Another fact is that amphibians need to stay in moist and wet areas. If they don't, their skin would dry up and the creature would become dehydrated and quite possibly die. This is why amphibians live near a small lake or water system. This is to satisfy their need for humidity. Amphibians have two main efforts contributing to the oxygenation of their blood. All amphibians either have lungs or they have gills, which provide the majority of oxygen to the creature. With the semi-permeable skin of most amphibians being so easily penetrable, oxygen and other molecules are absorbed and used to support the circular respiratory systems. Amphibians are very indiscriminate eaters. They eat any small animal that they can catch and fit inside their mouths. Since they eat and hunt animals, this means that they are carnivores. Since the majority of all amphibians are small, or smaller in size relative to humans, they mostly just eat worms, slugs, and insects because that's what they can fit inside of their mouths. Sometimes, amphibians even cannibalize their young, as you can see in the picture above. The digestive system begins to work swiftly after the hunting process is concluded. Let's take a frog catching a fly, for instance. Once the frog catches the fly enters the mouth and travels down the esophagus. The fly carcass travels through the esophagus and into the stomach, which is full of a highly acidic content that breaks down the nutrients in the fly carcass. From the stomach, it enters into the intestines, where vital nutrients are absorbed. What's left of the carcass is finally excreted through the anus, from what we call poop. This entire process, from hunting to eating and finally excreting, is known as the digestive system. The process of hunting and the digestive system work in a synergistic manner to ensure basic survival through the intake of energy-providing nutrients. What you're seeing right now is a close-up image of amphibian skin. Amphibians have a permeable skin which helps them to breathe. Not exactly though. More than anything, it encourages the process of cutaneous gas exchange. What you see now is an image of amphibian skin under a microscope. If you notice, it is very porous or has many holes. This is what allows for the process of cutaneous gas exchange to be encouraged. Once an amphibian receives oxygen via the skin, that oxygen then travels over to the animal's bloodstream and throughout its body. The most abundant animal included in the amphibian class is the frog. For this reason, most of the diagrams we use are based upon that of a frog, which is similar to most amphibians. All amphibians have a brain, a spinal cord, and nerves that make up their nervous system. These systems coordinate to send impulses throughout the body. The nervous system is a connected array of nerve cells and fiber-like tissues that are used to send these nerve impulses. The nervous system takes in information, processes it, and reacts to it at an insanely rapid speed. This allows for a frog to sense a fly within range, take in that information through the nervous system, process it through the brain, and then decide whether to spit its tongue out. Of course, like most of the world's creatures, every body part has multiple purposes. The nervous system deals with a wide variety of problems and information that comes through as an electrical impulse. All amphibians reproduce sexually, through either internal or external fertilization. This means whether penetration is actually performed. They must produce, or at least lay eggs, in water because they do not produce amniotic egg. This means that their eggs don't have a shell. The eggs aren't protected by a hard covering, which would make it easier for predators to eat them. Instead, they are surrounded by several gelatinous layers. These gelatinous layers act as a mild protection. Their main purpose is to ensure hydration to the embryo and act as a possible bonding agent to other eggs. Some amphibians put their eggs under rocks and streams to protect them from predators. Speaking about protection, adult amphibians can protect themselves against enemies by using their camouflage skin. They use this camouflage to blend in with their environment. Most amphibians have legs, which they use to run, jump, or swim away from predators. This allows them to survive an attack from hungry enemies. Amphibians are an incredibly diverse group of animals, and for the most part they are essential to the variety of ecosystems across the world. They are in this middle class of the food chain. To a low-flying insect, a frog is the Grim Reaper, but to a large snake, that same frog may very well be a late afternoon snack. So, next time that you go to kick that toad out of your house or slap that salamander out of the water, think for a minute and release it gently. A hawk will most likely get it tomorrow morning. That's the beauty of Mother Nature.